like, my God, man, it's like fucking dominoes, right? You look at one company, and what, 500 people get canned. You look at another company, and what, this project gets shut down. You look at fucking BioWare. Oh, they fired 30 something percent, well, 30 something of their lead writers that made shit that, like Age of Wonders 2 and, games that were actually good. And so here, let's talk about Bungie pretty much laying off a lot of people and trying to justify it. And, you know, I knew this was going to happen. Look, Bungie made Halo. They made Marathon. Marathon. That's a fucking throwback. Mara. Had to look, see if there any pornography showed up. Thon. Game. Now you're gonna remember this symbol because post marathon you'd see it on plenty of things Halo related. I think Marathon 1 was the first game to actually have like mouse aiming. Now it was atrocious. Like I played the first one in college and I'm like, nope, this shit's fucking atrocity. Honestly, I think it would have been better if they didn't have it, but it was at the time where goofy sci-fi shit was there and killing aliens, but most games at this time were shoving out straight bangers and actually had interesting mechanics. And again, mouse aiming was definitely one of those mechanics. Before that, you looked in a direction, shot. If you wanted to shoot someone diagonally, you have to turn to the side, move up, turn to the left, then shoot them. But anyway, our path forward. November 2nd. I thought it was like before this. This has been one of the most difficult weeks of our studio's history as we parted ways with people we respected and admired. Corpo speak. We've spent weeks supporting one another, including those who are at the studio as well as friends and colleagues who no longer are. We want to acknowledge the feedback and concerns you have about Lightfall and recency. I don't care about Destiny. Look, Destiny 1, whatever. Kind of goofy. Goofy ass story. Destiny 2, an atrocity. Like, barely keeping afloat. And the problem is, they want to do this thing where they want to milk you and your mother as much time and as much money as they possibly can. So, of all the in-game microtransactions, of all the DLC, and I think they even made the base game free. So anyone who paid for it, like me, before that change, effectively got ripped off. You know, we were focused intently on exceeding expectations for the final shape. Destiny 2 has more than 650 dedicated teammates pouring all their energy and expertise into delivering this epic moment and its subsequent episodes. Aren't they making a new marathon? I'm getting back on marathon. I thought they were making a new one. I wonder what that will look like after they've canned a good portion of their people. Like, I need numbers, statistics. Oh. They don't even say how many of the people that they let go in here. I think someone said they let go of around hundreds of people. But it doesn't even say. So, hey, I mean, it's short and simple. To us, the path forward is clear. We need to make the final shape an unforgettable Destiny experience. We want to build something that will be regarded alongside the best game we've ever made, a fitting culmination that honors the journey we've been on together for the past 10 years, forsaken the Witch Queen and the Taken King. These are the standard bears we aim to live up to. Forsaken, again, I haven't played any of these, but to my knowledge, Forsaken was actually genuinely decent. But then it just sort of went downhill from here with the other iterations that came after it. And in the weeks ahead, you'll be hearing more from us about the next on the short term us about what's next on the short term horizon, beginning with our next season in late November. Afterwards, we'll begin to pack up to unpack our team's bigger, bolder, and brighter vision for the final shape, as well as the bridge we plan to build to take us all out of this darkness and into the light. I mean, I guess it's theatrical, but it still just reads as corpo speak to me. I mean, they've been hemorrhaging players on Destiny. What other games did they even come out? I think Destiny was their biggest expense, and there's just been nothing but losing people. I mean, okay, they get people back every once in a while, but I just struggle to see what else Bungie has. I mean, Halo's now 343 Industries, and to my knowledge, it's doing surprisingly fine because they, in their Forge, they've allowed creators to pretty much make a game within a game, saying I fucking hated Halo Infinite. I didn't fucking care for it. Couldn't even force myself to play with people for too long, but I mean, now, but Forge is just a better product because now I can make a map completely from scratch, sell it as a completely different game, completely different experience within the engine of Halo Infinite, and I mean that's just makes the product good. It's like modding on PC. You know, you have people who put in their time and effort, and you know that some. I mean, they want compensation for this. I mean, and I don't understand the idea that okay, you pay for the you pay for the game, so you own the game. But if you ever make anything from the game and try to sell it to people, now all of a sudden you don't own the game. So if I sell my copy of Fallout 4 to a person third hand or second hand, that's fine. But if I modify the game that, by the way, I still own, and sell pieces of it to people so they can play it on their game, that's not okay. Like, okay, I understand stealing a product, but copyright has always been weird, and I think it's going to get even weirder now that AI is coming out. But back to this. This is a nothing burger. Bungie's been going down for a while, and again, like I started off this video, this is just the same old shit you hear from these overbloated entertainment companies. You know, they're doing good. They were raking in money, and they, you know, brought in people that, you know, granted some of the people actually had artistic vision, but then they decided, you know what, we're not supposed to make things this way. We're supposed to make things the other way. And again, the market doesn't decide this, but see, the thing about the wider audience is we get to decide what the wider audience wants. We get to craft this straw man out of nothing and attribute our own morality to it. So again, when you have situations like Halo, where the people are just tuning out, signing off, not even caring anymore, and then they end up firing people. I mean, this isn't anything new. Like we've seen this with other game companies, right? Forspoken, I think that's sunk an entire fucking company. Deep Silver for Saints Row will never recover. I mean, Mortal Kombat 1, to my knowledge, is doing okay, but people are more liking the cameo characters than the actual characters. And somehow that makes sense. So they don't even care for the original characters that's always been in Mortal Kombat. They care for like Omni-Man or like Homelander. Cameos, iterations that they've added. That I don't think that's ever. Well, no, because people were always like the cameo characters, but they also liked the base game itself. The cameos were just icing on the cake. But now apparently the icing tastes better than the cake itself. But so I don't know about NetherRealm Studios. I mean, Activision came out with Modern Warfare 3, reused a bunch of shit. People tuning out. Ubisoft, they're now finally coming out with Assassin's Creed in Japan. You know, the thing that people asked for in Assassin's Creed 3, but they said nay, like a horse high off ivermectin. So, what all games came after 3? I'm trying to remember. Black Flag, you had Rogue, Syndicate, Origins. There's a one in Greece. There's Mirage, which is the newest one. I think that's it. Whatever. That's like, what, 6 or 7 of the games. And now, finally, they're coming out with an Assassin's Creed in Japan. But it's going to be revolved around a niche character called Yasuke, who people say he was a samurai, but we know that a samurai isn't just a title that you're given. Like, there's a lot of political, social, cultural weight and influence that comes behind that. And it's not just something that, I'm not saying it probably never happened. If you look, you'll probably find situations where peasants or nobodies became samurais over. But, a foreigner, I think it was more like a bodyguard to a samurai, and this guy's like, yeah, no, everything he says is like act like it came from my mouth, but again, they can tell a story through that lens. But the problem is we know why they're doing this, and we know the direction they're going to go with this, because Ubisoft, like most entertainment and gaming companies nowadays, they make game for dads. They try to be as inoffensive as humanly possible. And again, we're talking a medieval era, so you're going to have things like, stereotypes, racism, all of that, shitty stuff. Unfortunately, these are things that happen throughout history, but I don't think Ubisoft has the creative talent and will to portray it the right way, and they're obviously going to try to pander. They're going to really, really lean into the fact that he's an African from Africa. He's an African that became a samurai, which we know now he's not. He might not have actually been a samurai, but he's still a prominent character. But anyway, there's nothing to say about this. Like this, I've always been talking about this. Them laying off people, then coming at you, the consumer, as if you're supposed to understand. It's like, we know why they're doing this. We know the problems. But they want to package it with a nice little bow and present bullshit. And it's like, yeah, we're not buying it. But anyway, that's all I gotta say. See ya.